Check it. Oh, I think I got the fever. I'm heated. Pumping up the meter.
People are going to be really mad with me for this one.
Goodness.
First Pokemon movie
Okay.
where Ash dies.
Now, you're Scott.
And then he gets quick rezzed by all the Pokemon crying. That's so stupid.
Okay.
I cried as well. But
I cried
as well.
The tears are like.
But like I want to know what's in the Pokemon tears? Why
That we can unstonify someone.
Why do people die in the Pokemon world if they could harvest the tears? I mean, like the I think maybe the implications on a moral level of that could be kind of. Whoa! But like, I know there's already Pokemon, right? But that makes no sense.
Yeah. Look, I'll be honest with you. When I saw it for the first time, I cried, and then like he gets raised and stuff, and I was like, "What?" Like I was still like reeling from the fact that he died, and I'm like, "What just happened?"
But you got a point though.
In that moment, right, two things happened. It taught us, right, with strange monsters with weird powers, right? Go around to find out.
Yeah.
And two, sometimes you don't get to be the very best.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unless you wait, like 20 years?
It's funny.
He won, like, I think, recently.
Yeah, very recently.
Actually, looking back at it, this show is a show about, people having these little monsters that fight each other and whatever. Very seldom do you see what happens when someone gets attacked by one of these monsters. It's always monster v monster.
Like, imagine, like, you're going on a hike and then, like, a Charizard just walks up and decks you. Like, it's a dragon.
It's over. It's
I
over.
wouldn't go walking.
You're dead.
There's no fainted, nothing like that. It's over.
Like in the game, there's like a wild whatever appeared in like mildly long grass, right?
Yes.
Like, surely it's dangerous.
Yeah, surely.
Yeah.
I mean, looking...
Like, Charmander tried to... What's it?
Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard.
Charmeleon, like, tried to kill Ash all the time.
I was gonna say, like, his Pokemon often
And that was
attacked
his
him,
Pokemon.
but like for gigs.
I mean, Pikachu, I'm pretty sure electrocuted that man more than any other Pokemon he's ever electrocuted.
The electrocuting one, I'll give a pass, right? It's the ones when Charmeleon and Charizard used to...
Because that feels like...
They used to burn him, and he used to be like left as a crisp, and I'm like... No, I think that's 3rd-degree burns. I think he's dead.
Yeah, but like, no.
I'm like 80% sure he's dead. Because like the guy was left like burnt like
yeah, he was like charcoal.
and he was just like and I'm like, no, he's dead. He's so dead. Because like imagine you had a Pokemon who like training mishap explosion. Are you dead, fam?
Yeah.
You don't think Pikachu was a...
Whoa! No, 100%.
He was so rude to other Pokemon. Have you seen the episode where like he meets Cubone and he's making fun of him and Cubone's just like, he doesn't take no hits him on the head.
Yes!
There was
Also, Cubone's my favorite Pokemon.
good Pokemon.
Good favorite.
Pokemon.
Favorites.
No, it's a good Pokemon. Definitely a good
favorites.
Pokemon.
It's a sweet boy.
There was this one episode where I think they were on a boat or something, and Team Rocket like got knocked out, and they thought they were dead, and they were like, let's give them a proper burial in the ocean or something.
And they just like yeeted them off the raft.
I mean, they're kids. I get that part.
Like, what?
I get that part. They were kids. Even me, if I was a kid and I saw someone knocked out, I'd be like, he did, But then like they wake up and they're like, oh, sorry, we thought you were dead. And then like Pikachu just goes.
It just goes like,
and I'm like, what? Pikachu wanted to mock them.
dang it.
Pikachu was like, oh, dang, we had our chance.
Dang it.
I just really wanted Team Rocket to win, man. Like, those guys should have been, like, working at a... Like,
They got done dirty.
They got done dirty, yeah.
They should have been working at, like an escape room or something, man.
Yeah.
Or,
They got done
like
dirty.
building park rides or...
They were quite resourceful.
Dude, there's one episode that I absolutely love where, like, they go incognito and, like, James just has, like, huge boobs.
The bikini contest one, I think.
that one was funny.
And it, like, for me, it was really funny because it's just, like it's very obvious what their deal is, and I love them, and I actually love that was in a like an old show, because like for me that's like really important, right? So it was like beautiful to see, but it was also so funny. Like it was not even required, and James was like, listen,
Just listen. If
I'm
we
the
doing
prettiest
this,
here, and no one's disagreeing with me, and we were like, yep, no, you're right.
It was
like we doing this, we doing it properly.
Like Team Rocket, I swear to God, they're like people put like a version of themselves and stuff. Like when I watched that show, Team Rocket was me.
Oh, yeah. Team Rocket was fire. I won't lie.
That is,
I really
like,
liked
I want the Pikachu too. Give me the lightning ray.
I also like how they always chase like Ash. Probably could have caught one on their own. And stuff.
Yeah, 90% of the time they were probably just keeping him safe.
And, and that's the thing. Like whenever there were other villains,
don't worry, you don't have to battle anymore.
whenever there were like other villains in like the show, Team Rocket was like, no, those guys are mad. They're trying to like do some really bad stuff.
Yes.
We're not gonna let them do that because we have a brain. And I always loved that about them. They always sided with the heroes when there was another villain because they were like, we do want to steal your Pokemon, but it's because of our boss is a jerk.
Do you think the creators of Pokemon watched DBZ, well, original Dragon Ball? Because like I feel like Team Rocket is incredibly inspired by like the Red Ribbon
DBZ
Army.
coded.
Oh yeah.
DB coded.
No, definitely. Look,
It's like they're kind of dangerous at the start and then they just get dunked on for eternity.
Yes.
I won't lie. DBZ is one of those shows that it was so inspirational. It's hard to find a show that wasn't inspired by it. It's really, really good, solid stuff.
There's some bad moments in DBZ though.
Oh yeah. No,
There's
absolutely,
some dumb-
absolutely.
Also, like Dragon Ball Z Abridged
Oh, can we
is
just?
so much better than Dragon Ball Z.
I won't lie. Dragon Ball Z Bridge is very fun to watch.
Yes.
Obviously, there's moments that are wrong. Like Goku's actually a pretty good dad. He's continuously like dying for all the people he loves and stuff. Like people roast. Like in Dragon Ball Z Abridged, like context. Right, he's a terrible father.
Yes.
Funny, but like he's not actually like a bad dad in DBZ itself. But like at some point, like when are we going to accept that DBZ Abridged is just canon? 'Cause
It's so good.
it's so much funnier. Like when Cell is actually dying and he's just like, you know, like his version of Frank Sinatra's I Want It My Way. Like it's fun.
That was so
It's
good.
So good.
Oh, it was so funny. It's extremely funny. I do like Dragon Ball Z Bridge a lot.
Like the scene where like Gohan's like, I need an adult, and Krillin's like, I am an adult. It's like constantly he's surrounded by idiots.
I won't lie. That show is genuinely funny, and I think Dragon Ball Z Abridged really channels the comedy
The
from
natural
the
comedy
original
of DBZ.
Dragon Ball. Like remember the Dragon Ball comedy when like
Yes.
Goku would like do some dumb stuff to check if it was like a male or female.
Yes.
And you're like
That was not aged well, man. I actually had like the comics and I looked at this and I was like, whoa.
do you see what I mean though? I genuinely believe that Abridged channels that same kind of humor.
That same guy. Unhinged.
But like
That
not-
unhinged,
Unhinged.
that
like
unhinged
humor, but not
humor.
like gross. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon
I
Ball.
actually forgot about it, and then like I reread the Dragon Ball manga, and I was just like, dude, this is not
is wild.
okay.
Yeah,
This is wild.
Dragon Ball was
This is so gross.
was so 90s, man. I don't know.
I was actually
Well, that
gonna,
was the problem. In the 90s, gross stuff was just okay.
it was the thing, yeah.
It was normal, yeah.
I mean, it was a product of its time. I always say when we look back at things now, we're like, wow, things like this wouldn't fly today. It was
Yeah.
a product of its
It
time.
was a product of its
basic
time.
human respect, like, kind of just wasn't a thing in the 90s.
It wasn't a thing in the
it
90s.
was, honestly, it just was one of those things. I mean, if
that
you
was
look
like-
at like things like Scary Movie that rips off.
Oh yeah, scary movie.
There's a lot of things in there that would not fly today.
The one that
But
always gets me.
At the time, it was like peak.
The one that always gets me is that part where I don't know you guys. I don't even know which one it was, but it
Is
was
it the
this,
clown thing?
no, it's the one where that lady walks into like the house and there's a little Japanese
And then
ghost.
they just naming Japanese brands.
Yeah.
acting like they're talking Japanese.
I know that was so
Bruh.
insulting, and I was like, oh my
Wait,
god.
which one was
The
that?
kid was,
That
the
must have
girlie
been-
was just like Toyota, and she's like Mitsubishi,
And
and I'm
he's-
like,
yeah, and he's like Toyota Teriyaki Kishimoto, and I was like, oh my
and I'm
god.
like, guys.
That must have been number 3 or 4.
Yeah, something
Four.
like that.
Either three
Was
or
it
four,
after
yeah.
Charlie Sheen's character died?
I don't.
In the movie that it's
No.
the Charlie Sheen character movie died in that one.
It was so
Yeah,
weird, and I was like, oh my
he's
god.
like the farmer in number 3, isn't he?
Then it's 4. Then it's 4 because it's the one where he dies at the beginning.
Which one had the 8 Mile rip? Was that a scary movie?
It was a scary movie. I think that was 2.
Was that 2?
I think it was 2. It was
2 or
2.
3. The one with War of the Worlds is really funny. There's one like line in the War of the Worlds one that kills me because it's like it's like big abridged anime energy. When he's like, I think they took one down in Kikkoman, or like there's 2 like major soy sauce brands,
Yes, Kikkoman.
he just names the soy sauce brands, and the guy's like, those aren't cities, and he's like, oh, well, they took one down there.
Oh
Like,
my day.
and I'm just watching that, and I'm thinking like, this is just Hellsing abridged.
Basically.
One of the things I can remember the most from that movie is, I think it's the third one where they're ripping off signs, and they're like, "Oh no, we pee like this," and then he's busy got his finger in the guy's mouth.
That was so
But
bad.
then the president's like, we're not so different.
We're
you and
not
I."
so
And then he
different.
pees on his finger.
That was so weird.
Gosh, that one was so bad.
I love when we started talking about anime, and I was just talking about wild shows.
And now we're just talking about.
Because they give that abridged.
Well,
I was gonna say, because now we spoke about your favorite Pokemon was Cubone. I know what Fad's gonna say.
if it's one of the starters, you're
You
like,
can guess. Take a wild
It's
guess
not a
what you think it
starter.
would be.
it's not a starter.
It's not a starter. They know already. I'm sure.
I don't think so. I don't think you've ever mentioned it.
Haven't I? It's. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of unfair because it's a legendary. If you can guess what legendary is my favorite,
Like,
you know me
Is
well.
it Zapdos?
No,
Zapdos slaps though.
Zapdos is a close second though.
Was it one of the god Pokemon, like the OG god Pokemons, or are we talking like a little bit later?
We're talking.
Like Lugia?
We're talking after Lugia.
We're talking after Lugia.
After Lugia, but just after Lugia.
Bro, I stopped remembering Pokemon names.
It's
Tell me what it looks like.
It's Rayquaza.
It's Rayquaza.
Rayquaza.
Rayquaza is my favorite. Rayquaza, the green dragon, is my favorite. Always has been. Since the moment I laid eyes on it, I was like, "What?" In Pokemon Emerald.
Yes.
Oh, it was. That's.
Oh,
I'll never forget
iconic.
it. I was playing that on my friend's thing.
But like now,
And you walk into this room and there's this giant dragon. I was like, I was like, it's so cool. I love that one. Is my favorite Pokemon.
that feels like a cop out, but I get it.
Yeah,
it's cool.
It's cool.
Our favorite things are what we think.
It's so
Yeah.
cool. That one is
All
my
that we're
favorite.
emotionally invested in, like for Cubo's story and like how he is, it's just like it
Yeah.
pulls at my heart.
Yeah.
That's why I love it. What's your favorite?
If you had to take a guess, what would you guess?
Jigglypuff.
No.
Jigglypuff is awesome.
Jigglypuff was unhinged. Jigglypuff needed help.
I found Jigglypuff.
Jigglypuff is like slapping a
Jigglypuff
fairy.
needed.
I found
to
Jigglypuff
work through some
extremely
shit.
dangerously annoying. Like I was like, this one is gonna ruin people's lives.
Jigglypuff was like
A new-
mob boss.
A menace to
level.
society.
Yes.
Menace to society. That's what Jigglypuff.
My favorite is actually Gengar. But again,
Oh.
because there's a specific Gengar in the series that has a very sad backstory where his trainer didn't want him and literally abandoned him at a house.
But how can you
And the
not wonder-
Gengar waited. When I tell you
Like,
the Gengar waited
What's that
at
dog?
that house.
What's that dog that they did a movie about?
Hachiko?
Yeah, Hachiko. It's like that.
It's very
kind of-
Hachiko vibes.
It's
But
very
the,
Hachiko
but the
vibes.
owner
So
of the
depressing.
Gengar didn't want him. They thought he was scary or annoying or something like that, and they just left him, abandoned
Bro,
him.
how do you have a literal magical, like, a magical fighting, like, thing? I don't know how to explain Pokemon without it sounding like a rights violation.
Yeah. Without it sounding like dogfighting, but with different creatures.
Yeah.
I won't lie. I felt that same way you felt about Gengar, about Pikachu. I went straight to Pikachu. What's his name? Ash's Infernape.
Yes,
Plus-
Ashes and Frenip also went through the same thing.
Yeah, it was kind of brutal. I won't lie. And it was his rival, Infernape. Well, it wasn't Infernape to begin with. He thought he was weak, so he just abandoned him, dude.
Bro, what the hell?
And I was like, what the flip?
No, that guy just didn't want Gengar. He took him to some abandoned house and was like, "Stay here, don't follow me home,"
Dude, in
and
the
then never
world of
came back for
Pokemon
him.
centers, how is it even fundamentally, like,
Like,
intelligent to do that?
Moral,
They'll probably
yeah.
pay you. Like, if you're gonna be awful, like, you can still, like, give the Pokemons a lot.
yes.
Yeah, it's just to pull at our heartstrings, I think. Yeah.
Also, have you guys watched Helsing Abridged? Sorry, I
haven't watched-
I can talk about Helsing all day.
I haven't watched Helsing Abridged, but I
Yeah.
have watched both Helsings.
So
But I know-
Helsing Abridged has, with some things, not aged well. It's got like the 90s vibe, so it's like some jokes are just like overdone, sexist and stuff like that, and that sucks. But at the same time, like that has to be one of the funniest, like when it's not the problematic jokes, and like again, it sucks that there are problematic jokes. It is one of the funniest
Yes.
like abridgeds I've ever seen in my life. Like Alucard is completely unhinged
Oh, vibes.
and like incapable of taking anything like seriously. He's like a 12 or 13-year-old boy with god powers. And can you imagine what that looks like?
Weirdly enough, I didn't know when I watched the first time I watched Attack on Titan. I watched it back in the day when we had to watch like the YouTube version where it was small in the corner.
I remember that, man.
I didn't realize I had watched the abridged version of the season 1 for my first watch ever.
Really? Oh my god.
That was so good.
I didn't even realize, and I was like, I'm hooked. I'm hooked for life. Thank you. I'm sold.
And then you watched like season 2, and you were like, none of this happened. What's going on?
I was like, what's going on
That
now?
is mad.
That's probably why you don't know what the hell's going on
That's
with the story.
probably
If
why.
You still have, like,
I think
don't know,
so.
like, did you download it? Because if you
guess.
downloaded it, right, that means that you watched, like, the meme.
So, yes,
the
I watched
meme on
the meme.
Titan, and then, like, you started
Meme
watching
on
the
Titan.
actual show.
So what I did,
You got all the way to the end. And
I watched
you were like,
season 2.
Shingeki no meme.
I watched season 2 and I was like, huh? And then season 3 came out and I was like, huh? And then season 4 took forever to come out, right?
No, season
Yeah.
4 took
So
forever.
then, before then, I rewatched season 1, season 2, season 3, and I'm like, ah.
Dude, have you seen a picture of the director?
Nah.
There's this video where he looks like the most tired human being on the planet.
I mean,
wild.
It was like for a press conference, like his eye bags had eye bags.
he already said when he wrote the first, edition, the first
Season.
not even the first season, the first book,
Volume.
the first volume. He already said,
wait.
I already know 100% how this is. I've got the whole story. I know the ending already.
Wait, so was he the director and the original, like, creator?
I don't actually know.
I have no idea.
I have no idea. But I know the original creator,
Yeah.
like I said, the second he did
From
volume
start
1,
to finish.
he was like, I know already the ending. I already know how the rest of this is going out.
Do you guys know any?
Yeah, but try to find the picture of the director. It is like I giggled and then I was like, whoa. This guy, like, basically, him and his team, like, look like they're about to fall over and die, and people are complaining about the ending he didn't even make. Like,
Bruh.
That's mad. Do you guys know any enemies
enemies.
that are abridged, abridged but naturally? Like the actual show itself feels like an abridged show.
Dude, there was this show that, like,
Just wiggling his toes against me.
I think
But Maui. So cute. Sure.
there's a dog off screen and he's had a cute.
Oh, God.
He's always off screen.
I
never
swear,
in
I
screen.
swear you've watched it. There's no way you haven't watched it. Like you specifically. There was this anime that like got cancelled. They had already finished the Japanese dub, but they were like they were doing the English dub. And like the show got cancelled, so they would just like do whatever you want.
Oh, like Ghost
Ghost
Files.
Stories.
Yes!
Oh my gosh.
That's wild.
No. So the story with Ghost Stories, right, is it went to the West to get dubbed over, but they
Yeah.
weren't given a script. So they were like, we're just gonna improvise it.
It's so wild because they say some
so
messed
funny.
up stuff. dude.
And they didn't even stop them. They were like, episode 1, we
It's
improvised,
like-
and they were like, let's carry on.
It's like, oh no, she's a ghost. Like, oh no, she's a bitch. It's like, oh no, she's a ghost of the bitch. And it's like, that is the official dub.
The one that gets
Wow.
me is when they're trying to train the one kid, and he's like, "Run like there's a big black man chasing you," and he like tries, but he can't.
falls over
He
and-
can't run, and the guy's like, "Well, at least we know he's not racist."
Yeah, dude.
What is this?
If you haven't watched Ghost Stories, all of it is on YouTube.
It's
Nah.
so unhinged.
The most unhinged one. It's just like the way he laughed. Hey, hey. Oh, he's funny little demands. Touch me harder.
It's such a weird show.
Unhinged energy as well, and like now knowing a bit about the creator, which makes me sad because I loved Gantz, but like Gantz was
Gantz was intense.
Oh yeah.
Gantz
it
was
was
intense.
intense, but it was also wild as hell. And like I don't know if you guys know the story about like the creator.
No.
So there was like a time in Japan where like basically any was okay, and then they banned. Like they gave people like a time limit to get rid of all their shit.
Right.
The creator was one of those people, and that's why there's so much weird sexual stuff between the main character and all of them, and then people being like really perverted. It's like it was actually his vibes, which is horrible, and it makes so much sense about Gads. So like I loved Gads. I refuse to watch or read it now.
I get it. Yeah.
Wild.
I get it.
But it's part of why I was so unhinged. The guy was actually crazy and a terrible person.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's not crazy. Maybe calling him crazy is taking away from the fact that he's awful.
Yeah.
I think he's just awful, and he was just giving that energy into all of it.
Yeah, 100%.
Also, that was on TV when we were kids.
Yeah, a lot of stuff was on TV.
Commercial break.
Gintama is like so much stuff packed into one show.
It's so intense.
I didn't realize it was actually like based in like a more futuristic world than it
I didn't realize that. I just thought it
didn't
was
know.
an anime purely for ripping off other animes. It was
so-
the scary movie of animes.
It's so funny though.
That and Blood
It
Lad.
is.
Blood Lad, dude, as well. He
Really?
actually does a Kamehameha.
Oh really? Oh yes, I've seen it. I've seen that. Oh, I'm like, really? I've watched that show, and then he gets like interrupted and he gets upset.
That was funny. It's about like
it's like a
vampire gigaweeb kind of neckbeard vibes.
and like he's gang
obsessed with
strong.
the human world.
Yeah. He watches Dragon Ball Z and tries to use a Kamehameha.
Yeah.
But then like the villain interrupts him and he gets upset. It's very funny.
Wild.
In Gintama, that main Oki, I don't know what his name is. I've never watched the
I
show.
think he is actually Gintama.
Isn't his name?
I don't know.
I need
but
to watch
he
it.
was like in the
Like, where did you
forest
start?
trying to do a Kamehameha.
Yeah.
And he like does it like 3 times. Like he goes Kamehameha. It's like, oh no, maybe I should do it like slower. And then like he realizes his friends are watching him. And then they're walking in silence and they're like, we didn't see anything. And he's like, I thought I was alone. And I'm like, what is this show? This show is just memes, bro.
Abridged but made seriously.
Yeah. I mean, is it so bad to have anime that are silly?
I don't know. I like that
I
it's
love the
silly.
silly
I like that
animes.
it's silly.
I love silly animes.
I think that's why we like Abridged, because it's silly.
I do hate like the silly faces and stuff anime sometimes.
Yeah.
Like where they become chibis and like their arms wiggle and all that stuff.
Oh, that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Yeah.
That
yeah.
that's very I want to say I can't remember the word for it, but it almost takes you out of the moment. It just takes you out of that, you know.
Because like 5 minutes later, there's a character screaming way too loud, like on the floor, and suddenly there's just lines everywhere in the background.
Yes.
Yeah.
Immediately after the wiggly wigglies, or like they happen afterwards, and it's like
Did we just?
bro, like
We just switched it up.
Yeah.
this guy just gave up on life, and like now you're a chibi. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't mind it, but as long as it's not too abrasive.
Yeah.
Like I really like the Bleach ones, because the Bleach ones, they do change like the animation style when there's like a comedic piece. But it's
I
not
could do
too
without
broken. It's not too broken. I'm okay with it though. Yeah. I don't know. I like good silly anime.
Rukia's drawings are cute as hell though.
Like that. That's really funny because she has like her own like art style, and they make that part of the joke.
Yeah.
And that's funny. I like
feel like
that.
that's different because it's still in world.
Exactly.
Like-
I like it when it keeps to the world's like sort of like vibe. I think that's really nice. Like also Jujutsu Kaisen does it really well, where like there's a good joke and they switch it up, but it's not too off model.
Oh.
Yeah, it's nice.
Have you guys watched Chainsaw Man?
I have.
Do you like it?
I
like
did.
it.
It's in a weird way because
I get the feeling you don't like it.
I do like it. So my favorite thing about it that I like is like, dude, like people just die.
yeah, they die
yeah.
straight up.
And I'll just be like,
Yeah.
I
They
love
die
this
straight up.
character so much. Dead.
Yeah, they die straight up.
Like there's like Game of Thrones. No. Like it's so good. Characters die. It's like no, like that.
Don't make me invested. And then,
Like that's just like that's lame. Chainsaw Man, they do dangerous job. They continuously talk about how the survival rate is low, and then you're surprised when they get slapped. No, it
Yeah.
is so good, dude.
I won't lie, I did enjoy Chainsaw Man. I don't think I liked it as much as other people did though.
I don't like Makima.
Like
Same.
a lot of
Makima feels like very,
Same. Oof.
very creepy.
red flags.
Yeah,
red
like,
flags.
Not just red flags, man. Like she inappropriate as hell.
Yeah.
100%. And I mean, she's, you know,
I do love that Denji's like an idiot though.
Yeah, I
It's-
like Denji.
It's sad because he has no education. His dad's poor choices screwed up his life and whatever. But I really like the realism of that. Like that's how people become like dysfunctional and kind of stupid and don't know what's
Yes.
going on and like impulsive. And I mean Denji's like very animalistic, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's cool. And it's like of course like Pochita chose him because like that being the most jack devil of all time. Basically.
Yeah. No, I won't lie. I do like the show. I wouldn't say it's like one of those shows like the way people go kind of crazy for.
same.
It's not that for me. I'm not saying it's not that kind of show. It's just not that for me. But I do like the show.
But obviously, you know, the community be doing community things for Makima.
Yeah, not a fan. I would keep watching it, but I probably wouldn't rewatch it if that makes sense.
So, yeah. One, okay.
Oh,
Oof.
for real? You wouldn't rewatch it?
No, well, I don't know. We'll see after the show finishes because right now I don't have a list to like rewatch what's already out. You know? But I will continue watching. I feel the same way about that with My Hero. So I've been watching
I hate My Hero.
I was just gonna say that I might get this podcast cancelled. I cannot stand
I
My
hate
Hero.
My Hero.
So I like the
But
show.
because of the community. I've
Yeah.
never watched it, but the community makes me hate that.
Look, I
anime.
like the show.
I'm just thinking there's too many. It goes on for too long, man.
That's the thing.
That first arc could have been it.
That's the thing. So I'm
too much.
I'm watching it, and I'll keep watching it, but I'm not gonna rewatch it. I'm happy with it. Once I'm finished, I'll be.
Mine isn't even flat out. So like, I won't lie, the music slaps, right?
Yeah.
But I don't like the anime.
Yeah.
It's alright. It's okay.
Okay,
Not
so
bad.
what anime that is now, let's say, a time investment thing? Name an anime that's a time investment thing that you would rewatch.
For me, that's Bleach. Because
Okay.
Bleach is quite long, but Naruto as well. But Naruto, I'll skip all the fillers.
I hate Naruto. I don't get it.
I'll do Naruto. I'll do Dragon
I like
Ball.
Naruto. It's not bad. Dragon Ball every
I
day of the
probably
week.
do DBZ, especially like the Cell arc.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think the Cell arc is definitely like the strongest.
Solid.
Like I think I really like the stuff pre Super Saiyan 3.
Oh yeah.
I do love the Buu saga, but like I really love the stuff that's sort of where like Super Saiyan 2 was the pinnacle.
No, I get you. I also the Cell Saga is also my favorite.
I think also like Gohan was kind of always my favorite character.
Same.
Maybe it's just 'cause,
Same.
Man's got
I
done
love
dirty,
him.
underrated.
you know, he was meant to transfer into like the next main character.
Yeah.
And then like Akira was like, you know what? No, I like keeping it with Goku.
Yeah.
That's why
Live
they
his
nerfed
life.
him and was like, he doesn't train anymore.
Yeah, I also didn't like that, but I really like Gohan. Gohan's always been my favorite.
Yeah, same.
I could probably rewatch Bleach. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely. I can't. I've never watched One Piece, by the way.
I finished One Piece, but like I finished One Piece out of spite, man.
I
can't
don't think I
watch it.
could.
I started-
don't think I could.
I started watching One Piece in the early days, so I had to wait a long time for more stuff to come out. So
Yeah.
then, like, eventually I waited for basically like the conclusion up to now.
Yeah.
I watched it all, and I was just like, man, like I was like 16, 17 when I started watching this, maybe younger, I don't know, but it's like it's been a minute.
It's a lot.
I'm
It's a
not
lot.
the
It's a
same-
lot, but-
I'm not the same person.
I'm not gonna watch all that. It's too
I
much.
wouldn't, although as much as I love the concept, you know, it's pirates, it's swashbuckling, all that stuff. It's such any other thing that was that I would have been like there like a bear.
Yeah.
But plus 1,000 episodes, I was like, you had to be there.
It's a lot.
It's not for me now. You had
It's a
to
lot.
be there when it started.
Even Naruto, when I rewatch Naruto, I often skip Naruto and go straight to Shippuden.
Because you had to be there.
I had to be there.
You had to be there because to get invested in 500 episodes,
Yeah, it's a lot, dude.
it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
I won't lie to you. One of my shows that it's my favorite one to rewatch. It's probably one of my favorite older animes. And I'm not counting like Cowboy Bebop level stuff. I'm talking very shonen.
Okay.
It's called Hunter or Hunter x Hunter.
I really don't like.
I love that. I love that one so much. And I can't say it's for everyone.
I think the author's really cool.
But it's really fun to watch. I love it so much, and I enjoy it with my lot. I've watched it at least 3 times.
Huh.
It's still unfinished though, and I don't think they're ever gonna finish it. But I do love it.
Top anime of all time. All time. Top.
All time.
All time.
Top anime of all time.
Look, so I love Cowboy Bebop, and I'd love to put it up there, but I feel like there's bias because one,
I also loved
I
Cowboy
grew up
Bebop.
listening to jazz. So
That opening was just
first
too
music
good.
I
was
learned
so
to
good.
play was jazz. You know, like I did martial arts.
So how'd you feel about the
it's
movie?
I thought the movie was good, man.
Yeah, the movie was
really
fire.
enjoyed the movie.
Wait, we're talking about
When
we're
it's- when
talking
it's
about the
the
animated movie, right? Not that live action thing.
Oh no, the
Isn't
live
that a
action
series?
The live
Live
action
action's a
series
series.
doesn't
Isn't
exist. It's not real.
I didn't know. Yeah, it's not real.
That's not real.
That movie was fire. That was the
but-
one where
but
where
I
he fought that
think-
other guy on top of that like scaffolding.
Yeah.
Hella underrated.
Yeah.
Same studio, Samurai Champloo.
Good.
Yeah.
I think that
Yes,
is
that got
actually-
slept on.
That one was really
I
good.
think that's the GOAT, man, because that mixed so many things. It was flashy, epic fight scenes, consistent story, like hip hop with samurai.
What more could you ask for?
is cool as hell.
Yeah.
And like you're on the edge the whole time because you're waiting for this final fight between these two characters you spend all this time learning to love.
Yes.
100%.
Like, you know, like, and you get deep cuts into their lives, and it's like you think, like, obviously, like Jin, you look at him and you're like, oh yeah, of course he has a tragic backstory. You know, it's like, and he does have a tragic backstory, and you're like, it's like wild to find out that he's actually kind of the bad guy in it, and you know, like you think he's the good guy throughout the thing, and then Mugen's backstory hits like a truck.
Yeah.
And like even the resolution of that, because like he actively resolves that story, just sucks.
Yeah.
Like it sucks so much, and it was so good. Like when that anime finished, I was like, I want more, but I know there shouldn't be. Like I think that's why I think it's the best.
It's a good one. That's a good choice.
Really good one, yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm a basic kid here. I'm gonna be a broken record. It's between one or two. It's either between Dragon Ball Z, the whole Dragon Ball like show, or Bleach. Because the thing is, I knew Dragon Ball Z before I knew what anime was, and it's connected to me like in my core. Probably the most merch I have of anything is probably Dragon Ball Z.
What was that anime?
The second one, the one that I knew was an anime, and I was so invested, was Bleach. The third one is a third one, and that would be Yu-Gi-Oh! And then
Dude.
so those are my top three. I'd say that are like favorite anime of all time.
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah, I think because obviously like the way I connected to them.
But there's a tier of its own, right? Where there's the GOAT, and then there's anime where like they span lifetimes.
Yes.
They're obviously the best anime of all time, but it's like it's unfair, right? To pick them over other stuff because it's like I'm trying to think of like an equivalent. It's like obviously Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit are like the greatest fantasy of all time.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Yes.
They created like modern fantasy and how
Absolutely.
fantasy is written, right?
Yeah.
You know, but like the Wheel of Time is, I don't know if you've read it.
I haven't read it, but I've been watching the series.
Like the Wheel of Time, you can arguably say like, and it spans multiple books. It's like probably the greatest of all time of like the modern, like. But you know what I mean? It's like Lord of the Rings is like.
We know it's good. We know it's good.
It's so good that it's unfair
to put it
above other stuff. So like for me, like those are like DBZ and Bleach.
They're like the untouchables.
It's
And
that's a
Cowboy
mine.
Bebop as
Yeah.
well. I think that's why like, but like also the aspects of Cowboy Bebop in Samurai Champloo.
Yeah.
Like Jin is when Spike uses a gun, and Mugen is when he's actually fighting with his hands. Like that's how I kind of view the characters. But like it doesn't feel like they're so locked into the same guy.
Yeah, 100%. No, definitely, I agree. There's obviously a lot of newer ones that are really great, and I feel like they do deserve the recognition. You can never compare them to these older things because, like you said, they're in a league of their own. But those are my favorites. Favorites. I wouldn't say they're the best of all time. I'd say that they're my favorites.
Yeah,
there's something
your top
something
favorites
I
of
will
all
always go back to. I think the best anime that I've been watching recently that I've been like very invested into is I really like Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen.
Couldn't get into Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer I like, but it's kind of fading now because I can feel it's getting to its end.
Yeah.
Jujutsu Kaisen is just getting faster and
with
faster.
Demon Slayer, why? But hear me out. Like, why don't you like it? Come on, man.
I would say I don't like it. I couldn't get into it.
But at the same time, I 100%.
I get you.
That some people don't like it.
It's not for everyone.
Like, I want people to like it.
I feel like I was disappointed because people hyped it up so much.
Yeah,
And
no, I
it
get
just
you.
didn't meet the standards that everyone was making like it's the next big thing.
I felt that way about Tokyo Ghoul. It was good,
but it wasn't
what people were saying it was. Yeah.
I think the first season of Tokyo Ghoul was like absolutely brilliant. But here's the thing, right? It's that thing of like when people tell you to watch a movie so many times that you're only going to watch it like half a decade later.
Yeah.
Like that.
And you're going to watch it because you're like, ugh.
Yeah, Demon Slayer and Tokyo Ghoul or that.
100%.
Yeah.
I think that's it for me with anime. But there are some classics I like the classic of Hunter x Hunter is up there. Really love that one. That one's very close to my heart. I also love some other ones that are like not common ones, you know, like Inuyasha, because that one was really
That's
nice.
pretty common.
No, I mean like it's not common in the sense that it's not everyone's favorite. but it's a good, well-known.
I can safely say anyone who's watched it will put it in their top.
It's a
favorites
good
list.
one. It's
Yeah.
a good one. I like that
What's
one.
a severely underrated anime to you?
That's a good question.
I still wait. I still just want to say my top anime.
Shit, sorry.
I still just want to say my top anime is I want to say basic because there's not much deep story to it, but it's close to my heart. Is Tokyo Mew Mew.
Oh,
I
that's a
just
good one.
love Tokyo.
Tokyo Mew Mew is very fun. I like Tokyo
Tokyo
Mew
Mew Mew
Mew.
is just close to my. I would say it's the first anime I watched knowing it was an anime.
You see, that has a big impact on your thoughts. Yeah.
And then there was Chrono Crusade.
Actually,
Crusade was good.
yeah.
I didn't. It's not my favorite, but that one was my other like.
Did you
My
watch-
introduction to the other side of anime.
Did you watch Earth Girl Arjuna?
No.
It was weird. It was on Animax as well. It was weird, but I thought it was cool.
What's your underrated anime?
Samurai 7.
Ooh.
Samurai 7 was nice.
7. More people need to watch
Samurai 7 was dope.
Yeah.
Like, that also, I think, sits up there with Samurai Champloo for me.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Underrated
It's so
anime.
underrated, man. And obviously it's based on, like, you know, the classical movie. But still, holy...
Yeah. That one's a good one.
Underrated, but again, I know it's not for a lot of people because. I mean, me specifically, I'm not into sports animes.
Yeah.
But this
Oh, yeah,
one
I
was
really
one
don't
of
like
them
it.
where I was like, okay, maybe I get it. Was Yuri on Ice.
Ooh.
I'll be
A lot of
honest.
people really like that.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I would
Yuri
say
on
it's
Ice
worth
is
a watch
very,
for
very
everyone,
popular, yeah.
Especially the people who say they don't like sports animes.
Huh.
It's definitely.
Yeah, I really don't like sports anime.
I mean, I don't get it, but.
I mean,
That
I've
one
watched a
I
couple.
genuinely
I've watched a
enjoyed.
couple, but that one's a good one.
I would genuinely recommend that one to people.
I've got-
Try it out.
I've got two. So obviously, I feel like Hunter x Hunter is underrated, but
Yeah.
that's because
It
I'm
is
biased.
very beloved. like,
Very, very
Yeah.
good.
Very beloved long run.
I think
Yeah.
the other one, is I don't know if you guys have watched Initial D.
Oof.
yeah.
I think that show was peak, guys.
Hey, there's a new live action being made for it.
I heard.
Initial D is it's the Vampire Hunter one, right?
No, Initial D is the racing
The car
one.
The racing. Oh, that's not
With
the gas,
the-
gas, gas.
With the
Yeah,
with,
that's the gas,
It is that one.
Yes.
Oh, that one's sick, dude.
with the Toyota 86.
Yes.
No, another underrated one. Red Line, dude.
Oh, Redline was nice.
Yeah.
Redline was
Holy shit,
nice.
With the car brakes,
Yo,
like
fire.
just
Fire,
that
fire,
one scene is like putting it atop so many things.
fire. Also underrated, I'd say is, but I don't think it's that underrated because people do like it. But the thing is, I don't think they realized that it was that first. Is the original Transformers anime, like way back when?
The original, like when we were kids, like
When we
the
were kids.
the original
Yeah.
line of like the ones where like Hot Rod became a prime. And
Yes.
yeah, those were great.
Those were
dude.
fire. Like before it was a cartoon. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, before it was like super westernized. It was an anime first.
We
I
got those
distinctly
first
remember.
line of toys as well that were actually still made of metal. That were
Yes! Yes! Oh my
Yeah,
god, yes.
That era, like that era. What, there was another one.
That was
There
so
a character
peak.
called Metabee.
Yes!
What was that?
That was Metabots.
Metabots.
Metabots was
Metabots was nice. That was
Metabots
nice.
actually depressing, dude.
Yeah.
Because like when your bot lost, it died.
Yeah, that was so dark.
That was game over.
That one was good.
100 for sure.
Do you guys remember how wild Beyblades was?
Beyblade,
Yo.
Beyblade,
That-
let it rip.
They used to
Dude,
shoot.
I actually had.
They never used guns. They used to use Beyblades.
I had like a Dragoon Beyblade.
Oh, fire.
I don't know what happened to it, man. But
I remember them like the one time, and this memory is so like lodged in my brain of like a helicopter SWAT team was coming in and they shot Beyblades from the helicopter
Don't
like
even
actual
joke.
bullets. And I'm like, I remember thinking, what? And like, I think that's the moment where I realized maybe this plot is a little ridiculous.
yeah, it's not underrated. I mean, like, do you know like Yu-Gi-Oh? Like the first like volume of Yu-Gi-Oh?
Oh, I love
like, It's like
Yu-Gi-Oh.
a gambling anime.
Yeah,
Like a gambling
it
manga.
was so dark.
And it was super. Yeah, it was
So dark. I really like the original Yu-Gi-Oh. I feel like as much as the game is like, you know, grown and there's other ones now, I feel like that original one that had that Egyptian sort of theme to it was the best it's ever been.
Yeah.
Like there are newer cards and nice cards and whatever and
Also,
storylines.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, like.
Also-
man, Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, man. Yo,
What was that guy? There's that guy that like every time he spoke on screen, like or you saw him on screen, like what's that? That den. that something sexy back would just play in the background. Bakura, I think.
Bakura.
Like,
Bakura. I really liked that.
like he gave the same energy in the show and not just in the abridged.
I liked it, the abridged of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where like he'll be like, I play your mama, and he's like, what? And he's like, that's right, Kaiba, your mama last night.
Also, that Pegasus.
Pegasus.
It was a good show.
Oh, Paragus is Broly's dad.
Oh yeah, it was Broly's
The Broly
dad.
movie. The first. I know they made another one, and people say it's amazing.
It's so good.
I don't care.